Testing 1, 2, 3. Should be good to go. What up, everyone? It's Derek from the Wax Wolves, and we're going to do a little recap, a replay of last week's Wax Wednesday PFP Roundtable Twitter space in case you missed it. So, yeah, let's just get this going. Let's get this rolling and moving right along. Thanks for watching.
Terra Mike, number one, as always. How you doing, Mike? Good morning, good morning. Crypto Kumas, good morning. Monte, hey, what's going on? Zaroba, welcome. NFT Jedi, you've had some pretty cool tweets lately. What's going on, Muse? It's good to see you. Thanks for repping. We're just going to wait. I started a little early just so we could get our guests in here, and then we will get our co-host, Kristalla, and then we'll go ahead and kick this off. This will be a roundtable, so everybody will be kind of get their chance to speak. It won't be like, wait, your turn for half an hour. I always thought we'd do something a little different. It's good to see everybody there. Wax Hooligans, what's up? All right, there's Fang. Invite to speak. Quacks, invite to speak. Just give everybody a few minutes here. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, cool. I can hear you. Looks like it's working.
Awesome. I can hear you loud and clear.
Excellent, excellent. If we get an echo, remind me, because sometimes I forget to shut my mic off when I shut up myself. Stingers, get up here. Kristalla, thank you. Oxalatos, if you want to join today, go ahead and come on up.
Hey, Tommy, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. All right. Kristalla, approve. Kristalla, you're up here. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're waiting on, I think.
Let's check the audio levels. Quacks, can you talk again? Because like I could barely hear you.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yo, yeah, that's way better.
All right.
All right.
How's mine sound? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
That one was good too.
Morning, everybody. Can you hear me out here?
All good.
Sounds good. Yep. There's Drawn. Okay, so let's see. We're waiting on Wolves, I think. Wax Wolves. Derek, I'm not sure who's speaking, so would you request to speak from the account you want the account you want when you're ready? GRG Rapper, welcome. Good morning. Morning, everybody. Happy Wax Wednesday. This has been a pretty fun space I've been kind of looking forward to for a couple weeks now. Well, I've been thinking about it. Just getting, there's been so much PFP hullabaloo going on that I wanted to talk about it. And then last week I was getting spicy on Twitter too. So I thought it'd be good to have some of the people that I've been seeing a lot or I've spoken with to come on up and kind of share what their experiences are with their PFP projects. Hey, Kristalla, are you joining? Are you able to join?
I'm here.
Perfect.
Let me test my mic here. Do I sound okay on this device?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound good.
And I'm sound okay here?
Yeah, you sound good, Kristalla. Sounds good to me.
Cool.
What's up, John?
Hiya, how are you?
Hi.
Very good.
Welcome.
Excited for the space. All right, I think we've got everybody that's going to be here. Shanaz won't be able to join us today. I think she'll be listening below a little bit later, though. We ready to kick this off?
Let's
Let's go.
fucking
Let's
go.
go.
Let's do it.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, good citizens of our WAX community. I'm Tommy from WAX, and today I am looking forward to have this roundtable discussion with a few of our PFP collections making the rounds on the blockchain. Some of these collections are old hands who've been part of the greater WAX community for some time, and some are new to the scene, eager to learn and absorb some knowledge for their own projects. Now, before we begin, it is my pleasure to introduce my wonderful co-host for today's discussion, Kristalla. Kristalla is a WAX ambassador, a content streamer, and community manager for the 3DK Render Guild and the enticing RadiQuest card game here on the WAX blockchain. Kristalla, thank you so much for joining me and helping me manage this all today and get it set up.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, welcome all to here to our space or a happy hour on What's Wednesday. It's a pleasure to meet you here because I always been like invited, but this is my first time co-hosting, so I'm really excited. And this is an awesome theme that we choose for this week. And What's Wednesday is something that we spend all day, almost all day here on Twitter. And this is a theme that we've been talking about for the past week, so weeks. So I'm pretty much excited to be here. So let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. So we'll get this started in just a second. So you've seen the people we've invited up. This week, I reached out to a handful of creators. They've partaken in the recent PFP craze. This space, like I kind of mentioned before while we were setting up, it'll be a roundtable discussion. We won't go up one by one asking the same questions, but we will ask everyone to participate as we ask questions. So if you have something to share, I'll be throwing questions, or Kristalla will be throwing questions to each of you, and then we'll pass it off to get others' insights, and we can kind of have a discussion around some of these topics. With that said, everyone, I think everyone knows that opinions of speakers here are their own. Nothing is expected to be an endorsement. This is a knowledge space, just to share knowledge and help each other watch out what to look for and everything else, so. All right, I lost my place here, right? Yep, nope, I'm on point. Okay, here we go. So let's start this off. I'll go around the table. We'll have each guest introduce themselves, and then we'll give a start to discussion. So the first questions will be, who are you? What is your collection? And would you share one feature about your collection that makes it unique? I think I'm going to throw this to Fang first, and then we'll roll around the room. So Fang?
Hey folks, I go by Black Fang, but most of y'all just call me Fang. I'm the creator behind Lou Momoko. If that name sounds familiar, it's likely because of our not safe for work PFP series Ludi, which hit the scene in November 2022. I've been pouring my heart into it since day one, and the journey's been nothing short of amazing. What sets Ludi apart, you ask? Well, it's not just about the art, it's about the ethos. We have 100% free distribution of all NFTs, but it's more than that. We've grown a vibrant community, refined our trade structure, ensuring every holder feels that the collectible value. And for those who've taken a deeper dive with us, there's the Ludi Club on Discord, which only unlocks the access for Ludi holders. As a member, you get exclusive peeks into my creation process with sketches and designs of upcoming NFTs. Plus, we give our community a real voice with polls shaping our NFT trajectory. And the generosity, it's non-stop. Think weekly giveaways with a Ludi pack for a lucky member every week. Our club is also enhanced with RarityBot to check PFP traits and rank, the fun Ludi Barista, which is an overlay bot that adds like a GM mug over your PFP, and Momoko AI, which answers to your wildest questions. I want to take a moment and get real here. To all creators, influencers, and collectors, it's high time we steer clear of the scams and the blatant copy pasting. I've seen the buzz around PFPs, and I've also witnessed bubbles burst, like with those clicker games. Let's not let PFPs become just another cash grab. I truly believe wax is the best chain and it's my home. So as a collective, let's stand up and prove that this isn't just a fleeting trend, it's the future. A huge shout out to Atomic Kings and the Unstoppable Ludi Club. You're the real MVPs. That's it.
Thank you, Fang. Well said. I echo that sentiment that this should, I hope that the PFP craze here is not going to just be a flash in the pan type of thing. It should be exciting and really be here for a while. I personally love PFP.
I think that was really, really much amazing and what we all had in our minds because I think everyone that is here today thinks that what is their home is the home of all collections, all our contents, everything that we have been built and we build. We are trying to build to make the community of what's even better, to bring more people and not to let people go. Just that's the goal, to bring more people to let everyone knows that what is their best choice to build something, to build their future here on the wheat tree that is the main future that we have been settled. So I think that that was a pretty much a really good speech. And I can say that I'm really, really proud of you because I think I met your collection. I was one of the first that you talk about your collection and see how much you have been grow here on the space and go for something that I want to do a NFT collection free for the people to spread the love that I feel for the community to every single one here to have built something that everyone here is proud of your collection. So that's something really, really amazing.
Thanks a lot for the kind words. I'm like literally shaking right now, and I'm hearing you, Cristal. Like it's an honor to be here. Like really, really appreciate the kind words, and hopefully we're gonna change the future of wax because I truly believe we got amazing creators, an amazing community, amazing collectors, amazing influencer. We genuinely can shape the space. We just got to put our head to it and try to innovate and change the way NFTs work and actually prove to the bigger chains we're not just a small chain.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
all right. Great introduction. It's a great way to kick off the start of the space. All right, let me throw the mic over to Stingers. I see, I think you're ready. Will you introduce yourself, talk about the collection for a second, and then share with I think we all know one of your major features of what makes Stingers so unique. Please go ahead.
How's it going, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. I am Nifty BC. I've been around for a little while, especially with the PFP stuff. I started doing PFPs in 2021 with cryptos. Then I did Satoshis, Jack Crackers, and a bunch of other ones before the tools existed. So I've seen the growth of this, and it's pretty amazing to see what's available now, especially through what NFT Hive has created with their tool. And so I've had the experience of kind of going through this already for a couple of years. And when I created this collection, Stingers, it originally it's there's going to be a tutorial that will be coming out about how I all the behind the scenes, like basically how we created it. But there's 11 artists that are part of this, and the reasoning I went about it this way, it was just that NFT Hive allows you to have an unlimited amount of wallets that you can attach to the contract. And I was like, hey, this would be a good way for people to get involved by just making different traits. And then we just smash it all together and see what happens. It was kind of an experiment more than anything else. And it was really cool to see that we were able to get 11 artists, one, to work on this for a couple months, to come up to something that was really fun and cool to me. It was different. It brought back the old school wax feeling, that why I even came to wax in the beginning, which was a lot more family community, more fun. There wasn't any focus so much on the money at all. I mean, because we're splitting this all up, 11 ways. Also, we wanted to contribute back to the community. So 20% of all of our sales have been going to Wax DAO to help continue to build those tools, which are the farms, the staking farms, the DAO. And we have 13% of it going to our Stingers Fund DAO. which is already set up over on Waxdow. And all you have to do is hold 3 stingers, and you're able to vote and put up proposals so that if you have a PFP project that you want to create, put up a proposal, and if you get it approved, we will help pay for RAM costs, and then also a little bit of advertising costs. So that way we can continue this PFP fun time and hopefully build from it. Also, we're going to be doing blends. Our focus isn't so much on the staking side of stuff. I know right now that's the craze. It seems that either people are setting up staking farms or secondary sales. I wanted to focus more on more of a community aspect. That's why I created the DAO. So that way there's already 5,000 wax in there from what we've sold so far, and we're going to be adding more in the next couple of weeks. So put your proposals out there, people, if you have a stinger. And let's see, other than that, we're just working on the blends. Now, NFT Hive also has this crafting stuff that has popped up that is amazing. I'm also trying to do some tutorials on that because there's not that much documentation on it, but the new mirror one is really interesting. I'm curious to see what that's going to turn out like. And that's pretty much it.
Thanks, Stingers. I know that that collection is one I was looking forward to because you had so many different artists, and that was like definitely the main reason why I got involved with it and picked one up. So thanks for joining, Stingers. All right, next, Quacks BTC. Will you tell us a little bit about Ducking Fuzz? We'll let you go. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Tommy, for having me. I'm Quacks, aka Quacks McStacks, Quack McSlacks, creator of Duck and Fuzz. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Guess what sets apart the collection for Duck and Fuzz is we do give 100% rights to the collectors of the duck they own. You know, and I'll try to keep this brief. It was a work of love, and I just want to share my love for ducks. Hopefully, you know, the other collectors love ducks just as much as I do. And you know, there's other things coming. I just don't want to divulge everything. But we have a pond map on the Discord. Everybody can check it out. Yeah, I just wanted to share my love of ducks and as a high quality PFP. That's it.
Thanks, Quacks. Pond map, you got me rolling over here. That's a really good one. I like that. It's clever. All right. Next, let me throw it to Wax Wolves. Collection near and dear to my heart.
Hey, what's up, everyone? So for starters, I got to make sure, do I sound okay? I've never used this device to speak on a Twitter space.
You're good. You sound okay.
Oh, is this okay? Do I sound okay or do I sound great? I need to sound great. All right, let's move on. All right, so we are the Wax Wolves. I'm Derek, as a lot of you may know. If not, surprise, Derek is behind this project along with Carly. She's also down in the audience down there. We are from GoParel. We've been on Wax for years now. We've been in crypto for a little longer than that. That's how we found Wax, but that wasn't the question. I'm going to ramble on, so let me not do that. Let's talk about the Wax Wolf. So the project, we have 11,000 mints, and that was the reason we chose that number. Yes, it's a high number, but it's because it was our anniversary of 11 years being married. With the drop date was 7/14, which was our anniversary marriage date. So that was like a little Easter egg thing for me and Carly. That's how we come up with how many mints. So what do? Well, we have monthly merch for starters that we give out. We give out craft NFTs. You can win a t-shirt, a coffee cup, something like that, accessories and whatnot. If you would choose let's say you don't want the merch, or for some reason we can't ship to you, which is rare because we have global and green shipping, just like the Wax blockchain. We keep everything green. Try to. You can opt out of that, and you can just get a custom wolf sent to you instead of one-on-one if you would like that. And this would be hand-drawn, not through the generator. It would be completely unique with unique traits that nobody else would have. So that's something we do. That's held on the first of the month. That'll go for all the way up until the end of the year. It's 1/3 of the year. It's 4 months. So the first one of that will start on September 1st. And then next we have the monthly wolves. It's the same thing. except we're not giving out merch. A lucky winner will get a monthly or a wolf, custom wolf wax trait, unique traits. Listen to me, I'm messing up, guys. I said wax trait. There is no wax trait. There's a wax T-shirt though. It's pretty cool. We also do monthly wax fee. We have one farm that goes into for 1 year, and we add wax to it. I believe there's like 8,000 wax in it right now. That's a shared pool that goes for a year. At the end of the cycle, which is December 31st of this year, we will add another farm, and that will be for the wax werewolves. And I'll get into that here in a moment. And we also decided we've seen all the hype around the secondary sales and all that, and we wanted to include that in the project in the very beginning, but we didn't. Everything was in testing, and we didn't want to promise something we wasn't sure we couldn't deliver. Well, as time went on, we found out that we could do a farm for secondary sales, and also we've been putting drop sales, as people that's a part of the project they would know that. So they've been able to join that farm as well. And we have created something we like to call pop-up farms. Now, what these are these farms last for 7 days. We fill it up with wax. It's a shared pool. Everybody can get in there and claim the wax if they'd like. People have been very happy about that. And that was just a bonus thing that we threw in. Next on the line, we have our monthly airdrops. Now, these are the craft tokens that this is all done on the blockchain, by the way. We use Bounty Block to draw these winners. You need to be holding a wolf in your wallet, at least one wolf. We always suggest always hold one, but we will never have a pop-up farm during any of our giveaways. That way you won't have to worry about that. Now, if you're staked in one of the long farms that last a year, make sure to unstake around the 1st if you want to be eligible. And then those are 50 craft tokens are sent out on the 1st of the month each until the end of the year. And then moving down, we have monthly space. Like right now, we're in a Twitter space like this. We run Twitter spaces. We've actually hosted Twitter spaces for a while now. I usually run it under the Derek account in the Derek Apparel Twitter, but this account obviously will be in there. And whenever we do a Twitter space, everyone's welcome. It's open mic. You can come up, talk. We don't have to talk about the Wolves. We can talk about what you had for dinner. It don't matter. It's just a good time. We like to have fun, have a good time, talk about things going on with the Wolves as well, other PFP collections, stuff like that. Moving down, we do IP rights. You have 100% rights on your Wolves. That means you can do whatever you want. You want to sell them on a T-shirt, go for it. You want to create your own derivative brands for it, go for it. You want to make a bumper sticker and put it on your car and say, I'm a wax wolf, go for it, do what you want. You can come and get support. We have a forum. That's where I'm actually reading off the stuff right now. It's waxwolves.com/the-den. I would just suggest going to waxwolves.com and then click on Wolves Den, easier way to get there. And then you can ask questions. Anybody can answer. Everyone can get in there and they can help out with just wax related stuff. And of course, we have an announcement section on that forum where we post absolutely everything when it comes out. Like if there's a problem, we've had problems. We've had a lot of farm problems. And when we first started, because like I said, they were in testing, everything's in beta, tomato, tomato. So we had some issues there, but we took care of it, and we took care of it quick, which is important, I think, for if you're going to run a project. If you run into a problem, don't run from it. You got to hit it straight on and take care of it. So, yeah, I think that's kind of, I'm sure I'm missing stuff. We got a Telegram, we got a Discord, we got the website. And yeah, we're doing all that stuff that I said. We have a place on the forum for people to write character lore, give us ideas, give wax ideas, whether you think that wax should do, marketplace ideas. You can promote your own stuff, guys. We let you promote your own stuff. We don't even care. You don't even need to own a wolf. You can come up here and you can promote your projects on our forum for free. It's not a problem. Suggest your IP rights, mixed projects, what you want to do. Like we'd like to see IP. I'm rambling. I got to stop. All right, there's the Wax Wolves, guys. I hope I covered a lot. I hope it was interesting. Check us out at waxwolves.com.
Thanks, Derek. Excited to have you here and sharing about the Wolves.
Yeah, well, that was definitely a lot. Yeah, but I'm definitely will be going for one of those those spaces that you're running. We went talking the other day, and it was really, really, really cool. So I like to see people pretty much exciting about all that is happening in the community. So we'll definitely go for one of those. Just hit me up, and I will be there.
That's awesome. By the way, I wanted to say I've been like hearting everyone and sending emojis, but I don't think it's working for me. So just know I'm sending love to everyone. It's just I don't think it's working because this is an older phone I'm using.
It's okay. We can feel your love. I can feel your love through the wolf pack, my friend. Okay. We got two left. I'm going to go to Drawn Company first, and then we'll hear from Wax Lottos, which is a newer PFP collection that's getting started. Drawn, it is a pleasure, as always, to have you in a space and be able to chat with you. Will you please share a little bit about who you are, tell me about the collection, and one or two really cool features that makes it unique?
Yeah, man. Okay, cool. Thanks for having us again, and I'll try and keep this as short as I possibly can. But sometimes I tend to go on a bit, and people want me to shut up. But there we go. So, if you've never heard of us before, we are the office at the start of the metaverse, Drawn Company. Most recently, we're the home of Karen Burger, which is a new staking inverted commas game that we've created. Also, the Karen PFP action figures. Our Keshi brand, which is cute SD versions of our figures. We do action figures. Our bread and butter is making people laugh. We've got a real fun sort of like vibe going on. We've got a wicked sense of humor. We came to notoriety through doing little postcard skits as NFTs with our main character Karen, who we all love. We absolutely love causing chaos. We love being disruptive. I think we're innovative. People might not share my enthusiasm for that, but I think we are. And what makes the collection unique, really, is our approach. I'm 80% marketing. I'm 20% product and NFTs. It's as simple as that. So with the PFPs, though, and I promise you I won't go on for long, but I think it's important so that people understand where we're coming from with it, is that basically I saw what other people were doing, and obviously I saw that it was popular, and I thought that I owed it to all the people who have collected my stuff for up to 1.5 years to at least have a go, right? And in the true Drawn Company disruptive style, I wasn't going to just do a standard profile picture, and that's why we landed on the action figures, because we've done them before, people love them, and we could easily transfer that to the PFP generative tool. So it's not a classic PFP, which makes me happy, because there's nothing wrong with classic PFPs, and we've got some great projects on the Wax blockchain. There's great projects elsewhere, but I just wanted to do something that was different. So we did a drop. We kept it small. 969. We love the number 69. Always has to be included. PFPs to just drop out, test the water, as it was. We sold out really quickly. The secondary market has it's been really good. 25% of the collection has been traded, which is I think secondary market is a great sort of sign of virility of a project. Again, other people disagree with that. But basically, sort of like with a lot of people have talked about how they're rewarding people. With the first PFP drop, we didn't promise much, because we didn't want to sort of like come up with a massive roadmap and make loads of promises, because we didn't know if it was going to be a success. And now we're going to be dropping our second PFP, which is Karen Bubblegum Serial Killer, which is a serial killer version of the action figure. And yeah, basically it just gives us, the PFP aspect of the project now gives us a great way to continue to provide really good perks and rewards to our holders. It's something that we do anyway. And we're doing that through drops that we give to people. Obviously, we've got the staking side of things. We'll talk about that later on, and people have already covered that. but yeah, we've got a big thing lined up over the next month or so. Our 3D artist has made a chibi version of Karen. So if you're a holder of the different PFPs, you're going to have access to exclusive items from that drop. We're going to have a Blendstable where we get everybody involved. We call it a pocket money promise drop, which is basically where we just want people to come and blend their balls out for a couple of hours until they can't blend anymore, until someone sends me that message and says, literally, I'm not clicking that button again. I'm fed up now. But yeah, one of the interesting things, and I just want to touch on this and then I promise I'll shut up, is that when I was deciding to do it, I did reach out to the community, the wider community, and said, what do you think about me doing a PFP? And a lot of people came to me and said, well, it should be a separate collection. And I sort of thought, yeah, okay. But actually, by putting the PFP into the Drawn Company collection, which I've worked very hard to get to where it is, I'm sort of staking the collection, because if I don't deliver what I deliver now, I'm not just going to knacker the PFP, I knacker everything I've built. So for me, it's about just continuing to add value. And I can't honestly tell you, outside of our Keshi pocket money promise drop, which we're going to do along with an exclusive drop to holders, we're also going to give holders of the new PFP an extra PFP using the tool, which is going to be a sticker. I think that's a blockchain first. No one's done a generative sticker yet. You'll tell me that I'm wrong. But yeah, we just love I love creating stuff. But I have to see that people are interested in and engaged in what we're doing, and having the PFPs gives me the creative freedom and the community as well, because we've got the great LC2 in the house who literally came up with the idea for the second PFP drop, and I ran with it. And we've sort of not bounced ideas off each other, but it's been an iterative process, and she's been really helpful there. So we are doing that. There's no sort of like altruistic element to our PFPs. I'm going to be honest with you. I do my sort of like my bit with the NFtopia school, and I'm going to be doing Comic Con, which is really exciting, which we're going to be really ramping up as we move forward. And also go to www.drawncompany.com. I've just done an article which was published this morning, which is about the epic fails from our first PFP drop, what we learned. And I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to go into it now. But more importantly, how we're moving forward and how we're addressing those, and what sort of rewards and perks we've got lined up. And that's it. I'm going to shut up now. Thank the Lord. We need those up. And there you go. We're done. I'm going to heart myself.
Thank you, Drawn Company. Verbose. There's nothing wrong with verbosity. That's all right. I just want to mention I did allow a little bit extra time for the space. So I thought we would go long. After we finish this introduction from Waxolotls, I would like to ask everyone to try to keep your comments on each topic. I've got 6 topics set up. I'm trying to keep it to about, if we do 2 or 3 minutes each, we should have plenty of time to get everyone to share their thoughts, have a good discussion, and then go from there. Sorry for interrupting. Waxolotls, please go ahead. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you've got planned.
Hey everybody, this is Gugumi, and I just want to start by saying thank you for having me. After collecting on wax the past several years, it's an exciting change to be on this side of the fence and to have an opportunity to learn and grow with the other creators that I've enjoyed. So my wife and I are working on Waxolotls. She's been working hard to give a solid product and truly fun art. She's been working pretty much nonstop on it, and I really feel like it's going to be a truly fun mint for everyone. We were inspired really because she loves axolotls. We have 3, and one of which is 10 years old. But in the end, we're looking to really provide a lot of fun, hopefully some collabs in the future. We want to see who wants to work with us, because as new creators, we're not sure who's going to want to work with us, but we're really excited to team up with all the creators that have inspired us over the years on wax. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, perfect. Oh, it's a pleasure to have you here as well. I know that you're a bit of a newer collection, and I think that you were sprouted out of one of the other communities that was big on wax, which is kind of what kind of gave me the eyes on your collection. So it's great to have you here and get your perspective as well as someone who's kind of new to this side of the space. Okay, I think that's all the introductions. Let's go ahead. Kristalla, I'll throw it to you for the first topic. And we will first, so how we're going to do this is we will ask the topic. We're going to throw it to one of you first to give a first word, and then the other speakers can add, elaborate, or share their thoughts as well. We've got at least another hour and a half I've got scheduled for. I have a hard stop, so we've got plenty of time to share and talk and, you know, hang out here today. Kristalla?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, that was pretty much. I think people are really loving the the theme that we choose today. I'm really happy about that. So we are gonna what makes a good PFP collection, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that is the we were talking about some themes for this was Wednesday, and we choose 6 topics. This one I think is pretty good. And what makes a good PFP collection? What do you think is the theme that makes something really good and people will buy your collection and and gonna appreciate the stuff that you are trying to share with the community. So who is gonna go first?
Okay.
Black Fang.
Awesome. Sure.
I think you are the best to tell us about this. What makes a good PFP collection?
Sure. I'll get through it. Thank you. So, when I think about a good PFP collection, here's what stands out for me. It's originality. Every collection should be distinctive, offering something different that what's already out there. Clear communication, whether it's the marketing or the overall message, it should be understandable and accessible to everyone, regardless of their familiarity with the PFP scene. Community centric. It's not just about the images. It's about the people who believe in and support the collection. The creators should be responsive, involved, and stay grounded, always prioritizing their community. Balanced trait and mint structure. It's crucial to strike a balance. The traits should offer diversity, making each PFP unique, but also include rare traits and add extra value. The total number of PFPs in the collection should be neither too overwhelming nor too limited. Consistency and reliability. Meeting expectation is key, but occasionally going above and beyond can make all the difference. Value behind market value. The worth of a PFP collection should extend beyond just its sales potential. It should foster a sense of belonging, stories, and shared experiences. Pride and ownership. If the community is proud to use their PFPs across Discord, Telegram, or Twitter, that's a strong indicator of a collection's value. Resilience. Challenges are inevitable. A great collection adapts, evolves, and continues to thrive regardless of the hurdles. Solid foundation with genuine buzz. While staying updated with trends is essential, a collection should also have a robust core that ensures its lasting relevance. I try to keep it really short, but at the same time focus on really strong points. This is just my perspective on this topic. I believe that creating a good PFP collection requires dedication, insight, and an unwavering commitment to quality. I hope it was easy to understand what I meant to say.
Yeah, totally. I think so.
Yeah.
Dedication for sure is a big one. Kristalla, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you pretty much covered a lot of there. So really, 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 really awesome. That is more everything that you say is something that I think everyone here thinks. But thanks for sharing and that. So I think we're going with stringers. I think it's the second, yeah. So I leave you to talk.
Thank you. Thane pretty much covered it. He gets it. He's been around. He knows what he's talking about, and that's pretty much how it should be done. My main things are just transparency. Don't overpromise. Uh, do what you're going to do. You know, if you can get it in the contract, so there's no questioning, do that. And grow with your community. You know, listen to the people that are out there. Kind of have a plan of attack and be original. That's the main thing for me is just be original and just kind of push the limits of what Wax can do because here on Wax, we have a lot of tools that ETH doesn't have and sold it out. I mean, for them, a blend was this big thing. It's like we've had blends for years. So, you know, use the tools on Wax to help build your PFP collection. Think of new ideas. And I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, Fang pretty much covered it pretty much.
Yeah.
Let me interrupt really quick too. I know we're getting a lot of requests to speak. We will have an AMA section after we get through our topics. We have extra questions too if people are not going to come up for the AMA. So I see all of you raising your hands. For now, while we're going through the roundtable, we're going to hear from our invited guests, and then we will open it up to the rest of the listeners. So I see you. I see you down there. Mike, I see you, Kuma, BMAC. We'll get to you.
I think we had a bit more time today, right, Tommy?
Yeah, I've scheduled like another hour and 20 minutes at least.
Yeah, because I think people are raising the hand because they think that we're gonna end in 20 minutes, and now we have more time today. So, so we see you. We see you. So, and next one, I think next one is Quacks, right? Yeah, Quacks. The micro is yours.
Yeah, with the question, I mean, Black Fang, he killed it. I really got nothing to go behind Black Fang. What he said was pretty much 100% spot on. So I really got nothing to add to that.
Yeah. Down company. I know you have something to share with us about a company that can complement what Black says.
Yes, no, because sorry, we just had a new baby, right? I was running downstairs, so
No problem.
yeah, I have been listening. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, what chimed with me, I mean, obviously Black Fang was concise there, but the one thing that I think you should hammer home to any creator who's thinking about doing this is what Stinger said, which is make sure you under promise and over deliver. Don't create a roadmap which is completely unrealistic and not deliverable and not manageable because you're dead in the water if you don't do that. And that's what I was saying about before. That's why with me, I've kept it in the collection because I've staked the collection's reputation on what I'm doing there. So yeah, that's all I have to add to that, guys.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. And so if we had Olots, what's Olots? Do you have something to add to everything that we've been discussing? I don't know if you were there. What's Olots?
Well,
Yeah.
I apologize. I actually fell out of the chat there for a moment. I had to re-enter, and I believe I missed a bit of that.
Oh yeah, we were talking about what makes a good PFP collection for you.
Oh yeah. So I was just talking about that on Twitter earlier today, and I would have to say community would probably be the number one factor, because for me, I've been a part of communities that the art may not always necessarily speak to me, but I want to support that because I love being in that community, and vice versa. I've had art that I've loved, and the community was toxic, and I just couldn't support it, unfortunately. So it's definitely, for me, I would say community above all, and secondly the art.
Okay, all right. So, when what's Wolf? Do you
Yeah,
have something to add?
yeah, sure. I think it's very important. Something that, well, Waxlots kind of just said it, but something that we all need to remember is, as like creators and stuff, we all get together and we're all talking about things, how we can, improve and do better. But we got to remember, it's the collector. It's the collector we're trying to make happy. It's the collector we want to be happy. So I think what makes a good PFP collection is what the collector thinks a good PFP collection is. I am a collector myself. So I like to look for certain things, like kind of like how we do our stuff. They got a website and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's the collector. I like to, if they're happy, then I think the PFP project is happy.
Yeah, that's true. I think in the end, what makes a good collection is that the community is having fun. Because that is everything about PFP project. To having fun, not high expectation, just having fun and enjoy everything that the people is making it, the design and everything. So just have fun with your PFP NFT. Show there that you had every your new PFP user as a Twitter profile pic and all that. So just having fun. Right, Tommy?
Yeah, absolutely. For me personally, I'm not a creator, and I'm sure you've all sick of hearing me say that, but I usually will tend to go towards things where the art looks either really, really cool to me, and I'm excited to just get the piece of the art, or if it is the community, and that's what I look at. Typically, when I'm if something catches my eye, that's what I look for first. Let's go on to our next question. This is great. So far, Black
Yeah.
Fang knocking it out of the park.
We are pretty much excited about this question because it's a really, really, really good one.
Yeah, so what this one is for anyone who might not be as familiar with what's going on with Wax, but what differentiates Wax PFPs from other blockchain PFP projects, right? And I'm going to throw this to Stingers first. Are we looking, what's the differentiator? Is it the tools? Is it the art? Is it the community? What do y'all think? Stingers?
I'm going to just go with the tools. I mean, the thing that's always differentiated Wax over everything else on any other chain was just the tools that were available that you can just gamify a basic collection with just PFP. I mean, not PFP, just NFTs. Now that you incorporate PFPs that are a lot easier now to create, and now adding all the other tools that we already have to our disposal, that's what totally differentiates this because it's not like you have to hire a team of devs to come up with a blend contract on ETH to get your ape into a mutant ape or whatever the heck you're going to do. So that's the biggest thing I think for me is the tools. I think as far as community and everything else that exists on other chains, guys, and the community word is also kind of weird for me because I think community is 50-50. I think 50% of that community is still just trying to flip and make a buck, and other 50% are probably 100% into the actual community. So that word is still kind of weird for me, but yes, you do have to have fans of it. I'd like to use the word fans instead of it. Everyone's part of the community, but I think you need fans, and I think that exists here on Wax because even when the market's been down, Wax, the fans of Wax really keep this going. The Wax fam, the people that've been here for a while, they keep building, they keep going, and that's what I think differentiates us a lot.
Well said. Especially your point about the fans versus community. I never thought about it that way, but I would not be remiss, I think, to say that, yeah, you might be right on base with that. To me, I kind of think I would use maybe the words core community, but fans works too. Great response. Thank you. Let's hear from Wax wolves.
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. Gasless and green. I mean, what more can you ask for?
That's an easy one. Easy
2
peasy.
minutes or less, right? I got that one quick.
You know what?
Eco friendly. We are eco friendly.
Thank you. Thank you, Derek. Let's hear from Drawn, then Quacks. And we'll go to Fang and Waxlotls, who's having trouble. He's having the Twitter is giving them the rug.
So like guys, right? I'm so proud, and I know some people sometimes disagree with what I have to say, and I've got different views, but I think the one differentiator, and we can say we've already mentioned community. Our community is fantastic, right? But the community is lucky to have such a pool of reactive and innovative projects, right? As wax creators, we've worked in the dollar store, right? Not all of you. I'm not saying everyone has, but we've worked making NFTs, yeah, for a couple of cents, and we've had to build and we've had to fight with it, and we've had to be creative, and that raw creativity has created something that's not there on other blockchains. Other blockchains, I just see stagnant. They're not doing this type of stuff that we do. And as creators, we do bounce off each other a lot, and we create better products because of it. Whether it's because you're collaborating with someone, like I throw stuff at Black Fang, thrown stuff at Kuma's before. You know, I talk to Stingers. You just have those conversations, and that for me is what separates us from everybody else. And this isn't a battle, it's a war, right? We've got to be in it for the long haul. It's not going to be always peachy, but whilst we've got something like the PFP craze, we owe it to our collectors to have a go and make the most out of it. And again, just have some effing goddamn wax fun. Over. I'll hand it on.
Yeah, having fun, I think, is another really big important part, and I think that's where you kind of draw your fans in. And as you mentioned, like you have all these really, really unique and great creators here that can kind of congregate on you. So I think that's a really good one. Thank you. Next, let's hear. I think Fang. Are you ready? We'll go Fang, Quacks, Waxolotls. I think that's all of them.
Okay, I'll go there. So, as a differentiator on wax PFPs from other blockchains, I honestly think the community, the creators, and the influencer have like a seamless space for discussion. Like I'm literally one DM away for Richie from Ultra Rare, for Burst, for Drone Company. I can ask them anytime at any moment and they'll answer me straight away. You can't get this on ETH, on Polygon. It's probably because the chain is much smaller, but I honestly believe our community is much different and it has a different culture because we have proper collectors and collectibles on this chain. We have gamers, we have art, we have like we have a diverse community, and that diversity intermingles and creates this beautiful space called Wax. And I genuinely believe with the tech that's built on top of it, just like Ben did that last tool for wax apes, which I honestly think is really innovative. And if we keep building on top of it, all the other chains don't have this stuff, and they're definitely not as fast as us in terms of stats. So I honestly think we're on it, and we're gonna get better at it. Hope that makes sense.
No, absolutely makes sense. Thank you, Fang. Quacks?
Yeah, what differentiates the Wax PFPs from the other blockchains? I think Wax just has something special. We got the Wax fam, the Waxians. We got like I said, the core group of people here. For me, I just keep coming back to Wax. No matter what blockchain I'm looking at, I always end up back at Wax. The art's great. It seems like the art's getting better every year. We have the technology. We've got all these improvements from devs, and we really have a lot of tools other chains don't have. And it's really up to the imagination how we use these tools to bring the PFPs further. Like it's pretty easy just to airdrop 3,000 NFTs to collectors' wallets without breaking the bank. You got blends available, and NFTs. Hive has that mirror blend, so you got pretty much it's up to your imagination what you can do on this chain.
Thank you, Quacks. And then we'll hear from Wax Lottos. What is it that differentiates Wax PFPs from other blockchain PFPs? And then I'll throw it back to Cristala.
For me, I would say the speed and then no gas fees. I would just reiterate that. And speaking more from a collector standpoint, it's nice to be able to buy and collect these small pieces without paying 10 times its value in fees. And so I think that's really cool.
Beautiful. Yeah, I would have to agree with you. Cristala, what's going to be our next topic, and who are we throwing this one to first? This one is close to my heart.
Yeah. Well, for our next topic, we will talking about what should you look out when, of course, you have to do your own research and on a new PFP collection. And in this one, we will start with Was Wolf. You have the microphone for you.
Thank you. Okay, this is very important. This is something that we all need to pay attention. I have myself have been fallen victim to buying PFPs, new PFPs. I actually made a tweet the other day about this. It was more about newer projects coming out, and what I'm about to say is more for newer projects coming out, but also old projects too. They're out there doing things. You just got to follow the wallets. So here's what I suggest. If a new project comes out, one of the red flags for me is if they don't have a Telegram, they don't have a Discord, they don't have a website. Their Twitter was just made a month ago. Their wallet was just made a month ago. I mean, these are big signs. Also, pay attention to the drop. Are they buying their own drop? I know some people might disagree with me, but personally, we don't buy our own drop. In the past, sure, we've been here for years and we've learned things and we've come to realize that buying your own drop is kind of sus, in my opinion, but everyone's got their own opinions. People use multiple wallets, so you can use a place called Wax Detective, and you can put a wallet in, and then what that'll do is that'll give you a spider web, and then you can start to search and look through that spider web, and then you can start connecting the dots. You can find out who's running what, see who's doing what, and you might be surprised when you do this with a collection. So always look to make sure they have things in place. If these guys or girls or whoever come out, these brands, these collections come out, and they don't have nothing going for them, they have no, not even, the Twitter was just made, for example, like things I just mentioned. Transparency. Just remember, the blockchain shows all. You can look at everything on the blockchain. Everything is there. I hope I covered. I'm sure everyone else will have things to say. Unrealistic promises also. Like, people will say they're going to give you the world. If these are brand new projects and they're promising the world, like, it's probably not true. Obviously, I know if you look at our project, we're promising we're doing a lot, but we've been around and we've already fulfilled lots of things in the past. So look for that as well. Look for projects that's been around, that's already done things. Look for projects that have learned, but new projects, be very, very wary of. Make sure that they're building stuff. Make sure they have these things in place, like Discords and stuff.
And
Yeah.
sorry, Cristala, let me cut you off really quick before we go on. Shout out to Carl Culator in the audience, who has been doing the Lord's work and posting information they find on the blockchain to help educate the greater community. Very cool to see that. Very happy to see that. Cristala?
Yeah, I was gonna say that everything that he said is something that I always do when I do my own research. Yeah, looking for all that aspect about if because you can do that as a buyer, but also you had to do that as a content creator because you don't want to tell your community to buy something, to believe in something that is gonna be an scam. So you had to do your own research also as a content creator. You had a responsibility there. So, but and now let's go to I think stingers. Uh, Something you can add to the team.
Sure. I think Derek covered it pretty much. You know, if it's somebody that I don't know, like if you're a new person just to the whole wax community, I usually will check out obviously the Twitters and that kind of stuff. If I see a Twitter that has like, I don't know, like 7,000 followers and they haven't followed anyone, that's a huge red flag. And it was like created in 2017, but all of a sudden it's a PFP thing. Those are the type of things that I kind of look out for. The Discords and the Telegrams, it depends. I guess on the PFP project. One thing that's at least okay, I guess, over here on Wax is that these PFPs aren't running you hundreds of dollars. So it's not like the end of the world if someone, if I buy a $4 PFP and it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world to me as much. But um, I really try to make sure that people are active at least in the community or trying to be as transparent as possible. Um, that's pretty much it. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's something that we had to look in not just in PFP collection, just in every collection that you try to be buy or something like that. In general, general stuff. Yeah. So let's Quacks. Do you have something to add here?
Not really. I think it's pretty well covered. Yeah, I believe Derek killed it, so I don't have anything to add.
Thank you. Yeah, we all killed in here. We are everyone here is making. We know what we're talking about. So yeah, uh, yeah. What's all? Do you have something to add here? Something that you can share with us? I don't know if you are available because I know you have some problems with Twitter.
Yeah, it seems to be working all right now. I'd basically just reiterate what Derek had mentioned earlier, and lately I've been getting all of my information from Calculator's tweets as well. So yeah, definitely a big thank you to him.
Cool. Yeah, I think we have a lot of tools that can help if you don't know about those tools, you can ask anyone here, and they will leave you how you can use those wallet tools and all that pretty much help a lot. I saw recently that we had some like a team of people that are building some PFP projects and then scam and trying to build a new one. It's something like that. And it was people knew about it because of those tools. So that's pretty much cool. The down company, do you have something to add here?
No, I think we need to be very careful that we don't create an environment where we completely put off new creators coming, because we're immediately like, you've got the old town mob banging on the door with torches, right? And I completely understand that it's sort of like a protective thing, but at the same time, what really chimes with me is what Sting has said, which is simply, we're not talking mega bucks here all the time. There's no way that we should be, advocating people to sort of like just have free reign. But the data's there. People have the ability to do their own research. It is up to us as a community to call people out. I'm always very reticent on that because I just don't know that sort of side of things. But yeah, I think for me, just really let's look at the risk involved in buying an NFT for 30 wax if you really like what it looks like, because if you really like what it is, it doesn't matter if the utility is not there. You're going to enjoy that for what it is. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, at least buy stuff that you are gonna love anyway. That's something really fun. So, Black, do you had something to add here?
Yeah. So I think like the easiest route is just to go to the Tommy King's Telegram and literally just check the chat, because usually the guys already find out about the new drop and already discuss it with Calculator, and Calculator usually goes over it and checks it on the on-chain metrics and checks if those wallets are tied up to another scam project of their, or they're okay. But I typically do my own research, obviously, and I check for the team, and I'm looking at stuff like, do they have any on-chain history? Have they done projects before? Do they still have a community on those projects? And I look for red flags because it's really easy to spot on, because like there's some old teams that literally really treat their community members and their buyers like really badly. And you'll find people that will immediately speak out about those collections. But if it's a new one, I generally advise everybody to just buy what you like, and if it's too good to be true, it might actually be. And besides that, if that PFP collection, if they're banking on the fact that they give secondary market share, be ready to fight with flippers for be ready for the drop to get multi-accounted. Be ready to have like some unexpected experience, because those collections usually tend to end as a pump and a dump, because the moment when the payout of the secondary market share dries out, that's when you become exit liquidity if you buy into that collection. So it's always good to look, investigate, and just ask around. Like I think the easiest route is just ask in the Tommy King's Telegram. Like there are a lot of creators, artists, collectors that have spent a lot of time and love wax to death. Like I can vouch for them wholeheartedly. So it's a bit of everything. I don't want to sound like the bad wolf or like a bad guy, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I was thinking about those secondary market promises are like a Ponzi scheme, like a pyramid Ponzi scheme.
Exactly. And if they solely bank on that, that's usually the red flag. A PFP collection should withstand the test of time. If the only reason they're making that PFP collection is just for secondary market fees, honestly, that's the red flag for me. I'm out. I'm not going to buy it. Anybody can check my wallet and see what I buy. I just avoid that like the plague, because it's not worth my time, and I don't want to get rugged. I've already been rugged through a lot of clickers in the last clicker bubble, and right now we're looking at another bubble, but it's going to be much shorter because we're in a bear market. So I feel like we need to stay vigilant as a community and try to support indie creators, artists, good art, good teams, real communities, not just engage on the first shiny thing that pops out on Twitter, because it's so easy to manipulate the market. Like literally, wax farmers are buying their own PFPs, which Calculator tied them up with Digger's World. So a lot of people that are innocent can get caught up in this stuff if they become like a degenerate and just buy in the first thing that pops on Twitter.
If I could say two things I wanted to comment on. Drawn, you said don't show up to every new creator with the pitchforks and the mob. I 100% agree. You don't want to scare people off who are new and who just don't understand and conflate that with them automatically being a scam. I think that's something we should be sensitive to. And then the second thing, Fang, you mentioned the Atomic King's Telegram. I would almost want to say this to you, and correct me if I'm wrong, to you, the Atomic King's Telegram is a group of people that you've met and you trust. I would almost encourage anyone who's in this space, you're going to meet some people. Some of them are going to be great. You might make friends or relationships. If you've got a core group of people around you that you trust, maybe bounce the idea off of them first. That's what I usually do personally. And I rely on eyes and ears in the community as well to help inform decisions. But I think that's going to be a main part as well.
Yeah, I think in making treating a space like this, it also something to so can people like this stays recorded. You can go and show this information to new people, and new people can join and see everything that we talked here today because it's really valuable context, and they can educate themselves and learn how not what should and what should not be doing with everything here on the space with those PFP collection. I'm really 100% agree, and we need to educate our community in general, and also we need to educate new people that is joining to our community to really understand watch those red flags and really support good projects, community projects, and projects that people are really here to build on what's that's something here to end this question, and we are gonna go to the next topic, right, Tommy?
Yeah, so we've got 3 topics left, and then we'll go to our AMA. For folks in the audience want to ask questions to our guests. All right, so this one, let's talk about really quick collabs. How do you collab? When and where do you collab? Is there how do you strike a balance? What do you consider when someone reaches out to you to do a collab with your project? I'm going to throw this one first to Quacks McSlacks and then to Fang. Quacks?
Hey, yeah, Tommy, great question. And I love collabs. I think first and foremost, this is probably more for new creators because most of the wax creators, they're pretty well versed on collabs. But if you're a creator, you first want to protect your brand. So if you want to collab with another artist, make sure that it's a fit for your brand. Don't just collab because somebody's asking. So first and foremost, make sure it's a good fit, and it's normally good to if they got a community of followers that's pretty close or well versed to your community, and collabs are usually pretty good at crossing that bridge, tying communities together on people that may not know your collection. Now, if you're a new creator, I would suggest getting around other creators, having conversations, being, try to be known first before just sending a DM, saying, you're in the marketing team, or, hey, how would you like to do a collab? Normally those DMs are ignored or rejected or not seen. But get around a few collectors first. Pick their brain. Now reach out to the person that you would like to do a collab with, have a conversation with them. And normally everybody in the Wax fam, the creators and artists are pretty good at getting back to you. But have a plan to reciprocate. So if they do a collab piece for you, do a collab piece for them, and work on the details on if there's going to be a profit split, etc. But but I would just make sure it's good for both y'all's brands to collab together and bring your communities together. That's all I got on it.
Good insights. Very good. Black Fang?
Quacks was spot on. What I might add is I remember when I started 2 years ago, I was like really, really shy and nervous because I was just like discovering drawing nude ladies, and I was a bit afraid other creators might get judgmental towards me. I had a lot of rejections, obviously, so never stop creating and never stop asking around, but only do it if it makes sense. Like, don't try to do a collab with a project that isn't a good fit, just like Quack said. Like, do your own due diligence. And when you get an offer for doing a collaboration, don't just say yes. Do your own homework and look into that project and ask your community or somebody from your community if that project is solid, because it's easy to say yes and then to regret later, and you don't want to get that person that you said yes caught up into that collab and then having to go back. Like, it's really easy to let it backfire on you. So just like do your homework and never be afraid. Like, I honestly never imagined I would be able to create an NFT on ultra rare collection. Honestly, like, ultra is like a huge collection. Like, I had an NFT drawn by me on Ultra Horror's guest collection, and I'm like that. I'm like really proud of it. I did it like a year ago. So anything is possible as long as it's done with the right intentions, and if you do your homework, it will work out. Honestly, like, if you're a hard worker, you'll be able to do any collab you imagine. You just gotta, just gotta work for it.
I think diligence and hard work definitely pays off. Being around in the space, like you mentioned, as well. Thank you, Fang. Let me go next to, well, shoot, this is a collab question. Let me ask Stingers and then Wax Wolves. Stingers, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Anything to add?
Well, I would agree with everything that was just said as far as like my Morge collection, let's say. I would approach it the same way. I usually look for people that have something original, that are grinding daily, showing up daily. Those are the people that I would want to collab with normally. But with Stingers, it was a community project. So it was a totally different angle where I really wanted anybody that wanted to be part of it, anybody that contributed, I popped it in there. And it was based kind of this, shout out to Danish crypto. It wasn't based on trust, it's based on verification. Everything's in the contract, all the splits are there. And so it was just more of like, what happens when you just take all these different artists with completely different styles and smash them all together, and you get this crazy result. And that's what made me laugh. I mean, I think I got more laughs out of it than anything else, and that's what's been fun for me. And I think for our collectors is that we get a giggle every time something gets minted and it's just crazy looking, So it's, I don't know. The collab on that side, I think it's more about, I would like to do more community ones like that because I think it was really fun and surprising what was the results. But as far as like your individual collection, you're just collabing, let's say on one NFT, not let's say a PFP project. I think you have to kind of research that project as well, protect your brand, like someone said earlier before. Find people that are grinding, are going to, put their 2 cents in as well, and not just ride off the coattails of either your brand or you vice versa on their brand. And I think that's pretty much it.
Wolves.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I just knew I was next, so I was just jumping in. So this is kind of interesting for us because like we're GoParel first, so like we're a brand GoParel, and Wax Wolves is a project under GoParel. So when it comes to collabs, we've done them in the past. We're very picky per se. Like we don't mind others like adding stuff of ours. Like we actually have some PFP projects that our friend, like a really dear friend of mine, like since I've been in a long time. I don't know how long, but He goes by the name of Nightwolf, and he's partnered with some people, and they're doing some stuff like they're putting our logos and stuff on it. We don't like we're fine with that. And then like Pen Arts, everyone knows Pen Arts. He like threw our logo. But like when it comes to the Wax Wolves, it's different because we give IP rights. So essentially anybody can collab. You don't have to ask us. You can take your wolf and do whatever you want. So essentially it's going to create, or it can create, as many collabs as people want to do. And that's what I would like to see. I would like to see people utilizing the wolves for collabs, and even if it's we're the bad, like Black Fang, like the old term, the big bad wolf. I heard Black Fang said earlier. He said the bad wolf, and it's like, hey, we can be the bad wolf in your story. Pick us, use us, make our wolves bad if you like. That's fine. I think that would be amazing. So yeah, for collaborations, it's more of IP rights. Do what you want. Use them up, have fun.
Yeah, I think that's an exciting perspective to take as well when you offer something up like this to the community and then encourage lore around it, encourage the community to build around it and add more to it. I think that's another aspect or value you can add. Let me go to Waxlotls, and then we will go to Drawn Company. I think we'll go to the next question after that.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I really appreciate this question because I'm really excited to look into collabs in our future, and so I really appreciate everyone's input on this topic. I know personally for me as a collector, I've had some of the most fun with people doing collabs. I like the Waxy NFT collection. He does all these collabs, and I've discovered so many other smaller collections that I would have never been bridged to had I not seen those collabs. So that is definitely something I'm excited for, and I think they're probably some of the most fun.
Absolutely. I'm glad this space came just at the right time for you. Drawn?
Yeah, so I would just literally say make sure that when you're thinking about doing a collab with somebody, that you choose something that's relevant to your brand. There are lots of different. Sorry, guys, I'm talking to people on a space. I'm now on bedtime, so I'm talking to these people. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to explain this. So you watch School of Rock. Good boy. Sorry about that, folks. It's all live, 100% live. Just in case you're worried. So yeah, just make sure you're choosing stuff that's relevant to your brand. Don't just go out there and think I need to collab with the world. There are some collections which will complement you. There are some collections that will be completely different, but they will sort of like again complement in a reverse fashion. So example, I did a collab with the fine artist that was Humble Drawings. We're in completely different spheres, but it worked because he did something with the Drawn Company colors. So he created his own artwork from that. I've got nothing more really to say on collabs. I don't really do a lot of them. I should probably do more. But yeah, I just think you should. My key takeaway is make sure that you're not just out there and you're trying to get collabs from every man and his dog. And just a side note, because I talked about this in NFTopia school, is don't jump in and just try and do a collab with someone. You have to build a relationship first. If you don't build a relationship, you're sort of like you're never going to get there. Simple as that. And that's again all I've got to say about that.
No, I think that's well said. Don't just jump in. Don't try to collab with the whole world. Imagine if everybody says yes, you spread yourself so thin, and then you come back to what you said earlier, under promise, over deliver. When you're promising the world, it's hard to over deliver that. So good insight. Let me throw it back to Christella for our next topic.
So yeah, I think we had someone talking.
No, I think it's just Twitter bugging. It's been showing that Stingers is the only talking for me for the entire space, so it's just bugging out. We're ready for the next topic.
Yeah. So in the next topic, we will talking about how and what do you do to add value. You need to add value in every collection. So for this, we are gonna be starting with Dow, Dan Company. Can you tell us how do you add value to your collection?
So, bit of a Matt Memorial lecture, right? First of all, I hate the word utility. It makes me want to puke in my mouth. And I fell foul of using the word when I was creating the first PFP collection. I've completely ditched it, and I've gone back to using what we've always used, which is rewards and perks, which, surprise, surprise, comes out the cupboard, is utility in disguise. But I think, and I'm sorry, I'm softly spoken now because it's bedtime, so you're not going to get full fat Matt. But yeah, we've already talked about it. But there's three things the way that Drawn Company adds value. We underpromise and we overdeliver. We're not scared to be innovative, make mistakes, and then acknowledge that we've made mistakes and hold our hand up. And you know what? Make a joke out of it, because people like that. That's the way you spin a situation. And then the third way I add value is just being me, right? I have a joke, which is I am the utility of the collection. And it's sort of true, because it's the little bits of input that I give that add, and people are going to puke in their own mouths now, the Tinkerbell dust, that pixie dust onto the collection, and makes everything we do that bit different. So yeah, let's burn through these then. So, with Karen PFP, it was all about sort of like under promising in the original roadmap and seeing if people just like the NFTs and like the action figure concept, and then running with it afterwards. It's just like everything we do. We at the value we add constantly evolves. We can't just tell you now how I'm going to be adding value to the community in 12 months time, because it's flip-flopped and changed six months. It's not like I renege on any promises. I just create better stuff for them, do stuff, get them involved. And I think with that, it's about getting, the community, our employees at Drawn Company involved. What do they like? What do they think of what we're doing? I'm not doing surveys all the time, although a few of you will know that I'm doing surveys, but I'm just paying attention. So it's just those little bits that I hear on Twitter. It might not be about my collection; it might be about someone else's collection. But I think, oh, that's something that I could add in. So doing a bit of that. And the great thing is our collectors get it, right? And I've built up trust with them over time, because they know I constantly over deliver, and I'm not over egging that. I think I would be bold to say is that our perks and rewards are some of the best on the Wax blockchain. But the great thing about the PFP is, because it's been a success, I can now commit to more. Yeah. And that's what I was talking about earlier. I'm not going to go over it again. We're going to be doing a free sort of like what we call Blendstable, which will be a pack drop with all sorts of business going on. One thing I always say, and I think this truly adds value, is that DC is not mine. It's ours. It's the community's. I just create the stuff, but they give me ideas. They steer what we're doing, and that's a big part of it. Again, not going to go into this before I become really big-headed and talk about myself, but we're not scared to acknowledge our mistakes. We did that blog, as I told you about. Please go and read it, because it's fascinating. We talk about all the things that we did wrong. We're not scared of admitting the fact that, there were some things that weren't quite right with the first PFP drop. So how do I add value? I am the utility. When I'm reactive, I've proved that, because we've been able to, piggyback on the PFP craze and create something that is truly cool and collectible. Yeah, you just sit there. Yeah, I will find you Wayne's World in a minute, right? Okay, wait there. Do you know what, actually, do you want to just pass this on to somebody else, and then I'll be big-headed and talk about myself? I just need to find Wayne's World. Sorry about this, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, well, as we when talking about this, yeah, it's always really good to listen and have a feedback for your community, because in the end, the project is for them. So you had to always like listen to your community. Well, sometimes it's not just not easy. I know it's not easy to deliver, to over deliver, but always listened and had a plan. So and
Yeah,
right now
sorry.
I'm gonna
Sorry,
yeah
can I finish off my bit because he's watching Wayne's
yeah
World. So
sure
yeah, that was really nice. That
yeah
a nice bridge there, right? And you're right there. Don't be scared to ask for bad criticism. I sometimes say to people, I send them something, and I'll be like, just give me blood on the walls. What's wrong with this? So we're reactive. We understand collectibles, yeah, and that's paid into what Black Fang was talking about in designing traits. We didn't get it 100% right with the first drop, but we've used the first drop to learn. We're doing a bigger drop now, and as a consequence, the next drop will be better than the first drop. We're not scared to be innovative, and being innovative means we're going to have failures. But there's an old saying: fail sooner to succeed quicker. Another thing that we do, which really informs our collection, is we use data. There's a lot of humor in Drawn Company, and getting the humor right to market is very difficult. So I have to think, well, who's this being aimed at? Because actually, the Americans have got a completely different sense of humor to the Europeans. The stuff that just doesn't fly. So we have to be sensitive to that. So I've said it, we're not scared to fail. And what we do is, and I think we do this really well, is we just make things fun, and we do that through social interaction. We use our sense of humor and the license to be able to do stuff and say stuff that others probably wouldn't get away with, to the max. So that's the general DC overview, right? But that is everything that we're bringing in to the PFPs to make them a success, and they will be a success. I'll commit to 10K by Christmas. There we go. I've said it now. Someone will hold me accountable for that. That was a silly thing to do, but there we go. Okay, yeah, that would be the aim, to have 10K PFPs by Christmas. So listen, right. I will be available to take questions, but I'm on bedtime duty, so I'm listening in. Thanks for having me.
yeah thank you for all that. It's definitely had a good and valid points there about everything. But right now, I'm gonna go with What's Wolf, and then we're going to Stringer. So, who had your microphone? Are you ready?
I'm here. I'm ready to go. Okay, so
Yeah.
value. That's an interesting word. How are we determining it? Is it friendship? Is it community? Is it ROI investment? Like I think value can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So I'm gonna give you my best shot at it in like 2 minutes or whatever. How we provide value is from the start. We started learning. We tried new things. Things didn't work. We realized, okay, this is how things should be done here. Oh, that's a mistake. And it's just a learning curve. So as we move on through the years with Wax, we learn, and then we provide that information and we put it out there as knowledge. Is that value? Possibly. We give Wax back to our holders. Is that value? Possibly. Running Twitter spaces, letting people communicate with each other, kind of like what this is right here. Is that value? Is it bringing value? Possibly. There's lots of things we do that can bring value to certain people. It just all depends the type of person and what type of value they're looking for. So yeah, I think value is kind of in the eye of the beholder. Did I say that right? The eye of the beholder. I may have butchered that. I think it's kind of back to the whole collector thing. What's value to them? But yeah, we just try to do as much as we can and give out as much information and be as helpful as we can for Wax through the years, and we're going to continue to do so. And hopefully that is value in the eyes of people that support us, and even people that don't support us. Hopefully they can appreciate it at least. Yeah, there's my value speech there. Hopefully that was good.
Yeah, that was a good value speech. And definitely is a really good point. So right now I'm gonna go to singers, and then we were talking with quads. So Are you ready?
Totally ready. Yeah, you made a great point there. I saw it because value is symbiotic. It's depending on both sides of the collectors and the creators. What do people consider value? I mean, that's a pretty subjective thing. So that's 100% good point to be made. I think every project and even every drop might have a different sense of value or collection. You know, some people go towards collections because they have really strong Discord communities that are always interactive and people are always talking to each other. Other people like go into other ones that are just, informative. You might learn how to do things. For, stingers in particular, I mean, the value for me at least was to get 11 artists to be part of something and release something as a community project while still giving back to the community. As far as like giving percentage back to Waxaw so he can continue to go because he's been doing those servers by himself for quite some time. And then, creating a way for other PFP projects to help them, launch a little easier, maybe, that would be the value that I'm trying to bring is that it's more like a pay it forward type of project on this one. So that's what I think at least I'm trying to bring in this one. As far as value in general, I think, like Waxwell said, it could be friendship. It could be a lot of different ways on how people consider that. Someone might make their best friend through a Discord because they both bought into the same PFP project. That's happened already in the NFT space in general. So it's interesting. That's an interesting question.
Yeah, definitely. Bad boy can be is something different for each person, and depends on what are they doing here, what they expect to earn here, and yeah. So now I'm gonna go with Quacks, and then I'm gonna leave the microphone for Blacks. So Quacks, are you ready?
Sure thing. Yeah, just a quick comment on this. I believe the value, and it's already been touched on, the value is subjective. Um, I would say just have a clear vision and a clear kind of roadmap or pond map, whatever kind of map you got there. And the collectors that find value in what you're doing, I believe they will see it and get value out of it.
Yeah, for some people, bad work can be like, like good painting, awesome FD, something like that. And for other people, can be like secondary micro sales, investment. It depends on the person. And Black, do you have something to add to this topic? Are you there? I don't know. Black, are you there?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking you were talking with Quacks. My bad.
No, yeah. It's your turn.
My bad. Yeah, so the question was, what do you do to add value, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me touch up on this. Basically, Ludi, the PFP series, I launched it 11 months ago, and I never stopped building on top of it. So basically, when you hold a Ludi PFP, you get airdrops, drops for free just by owning it. And besides that, you get exclusive access to the Ludi Club Discord server, which requires you honeycomb verification. So only if you own it, you verify the wallet that's synced with your Discord account, you gain access. And when you gain access, you get some exclusive perks like weekly giveaways where we give like a Ludi pack every week. I show sneak peeks with behind the scenes sketches and drawings of future NFTs I'm making. We got a club poll where I ask various stuff like what would you like the next NFT or achievement to be in the club votes, or we had like a meme contest and the community votes on that and we award them and engage as a community. And I've been building on top of it, ever since I launched it. Like I literally started just with that, and then I asked a developer to make me a custom rarity bot for the PFPs that you could check the traits and the rank. It hasn't been done before for PFP specifically on Wax. So I asked a developer from Polygon, from Hellcat's team, to make me this bot. Right now, we actually have Buchia from Exit Limbo that has that started the brand PFP Wizard bot, and he actually offers these type of bots for like really accessible prices. So any PFP collection can actually take advantage of these bots, because it really adds a seamless experience to your Discord server. I built with my friend John from Token Girls, Momoko AI. So it's a bot where she identifies as Momoko using ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo API, and she'll answer to your wildest dreams and will stay in the role of Momoko. We've also added a overlay bot that might be, some of you might haven't seen it yet, but we did a lot of posts on Twitter. You basically add like a coffee mug that's personalized with like either like the Wax logo with like a GM or the Tommy King's logo over your PFP, and the arm actually syncs with the skin trait you have. So if you got like there are like 6 different tattoo traits, and each arm is synced with the skin trait you have. So it's a lot more depth than it seems. And I just keep building on top of it. I've had like various questions, like when are you gonna do Ludi Series 2? And I said I'm not gonna start even working on it until 2024, because I feel like I can still build and add value on top of it. And I feel with the community I have that back me up, like I'm just a one-man show, and without this amazing community, I wouldn't be here today without their support. So like that's my belief, that I that's my calling, that I need to give back to the community. So that's why I started everything you see here that I'm working on constantly. And like we do like fun stuff, like we do like collabs. So we did like with Senior Lupe and Ludi. So for every Chummy and Ludi holder, you would get 2 NFTs airdrop, and we would have 6 blends, so 3 on my collection and 3 on Senior Lupe's collection. So we took in account people that held on to multiple PFPs, like whether they were Chummies or Ludis. Because if you look, majority of the PFP holders hold more than one. Like in my case, Ludi has 555 PFPs. The total number of holders is 160. And our Ludi club is just 130 verified accounts. So it's actually a smaller community than it seems. So that's why I encourage everybody to do their homework and research when they do a high supply PFP collection, because Wax community isn't Polygon and Ethereum. You can't make a huge supply PFP collection unless you're willing to understand that when the hype goes down, the floor price will go down. So that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Take with a grain of salt what I say. That's it.
Yeah, that is a smart point to take. Yeah, so for be ending this topic, and Olaf, are you here? You have something to
Hey
add?
guys, hey, I'm here. Yeah, as a new creator, I would definitely say, agreeing with what everyone was saying about the value being subjective to people differently. You know, people definitely hold different things valuable, whether it's the art or it's perks related to the PFP. But ultimately, I think that I just want to take everything that I've enjoyed and I've had fun doing while collecting and apply that to our project. And I look forward to learning more about what my collectors will deem as a value to them, and adapting to that, so that everyone will ultimately have fun and enjoy the art that I fully believe will be a fun event for everyone. So
Cool. Yeah, we're almost 2 hours here, so we are definitely having fun a lot.
apologies for the road noise if you can hear that.
Yeah, yeah, we hear something, but it's cool. So. And yeah, so we ended this topic, and we almost 2 hours here. This is awesome. There are a lot of point of views, a lot of context that we've been learning here. So for the last topic, I think we need to give a little bit short the quest and the answers. So yeah, Tommy, the microphone is yours. Go for the next topic.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we go a little bit over time, it'll be okay. But I do understand that folks have time constraints today. So Waxalottos, actually, I'm going to throw this question to you first. Generative PFPs with random attributes or 100% hand-drawn PFPs? And why did you choose and preferred method? What do you think? What do you like, and why?
So this one's hard for me to answer because I've really enjoyed PFP projects of both sorts. I've kind of enjoyed the kind of just random generated, and you don't know what you're going to get or what's possible, and sometimes it throws it together in a wacky way that maybe you wouldn't have seen coming, or maybe even the artist wouldn't have considered pairing together that way. And ultimately, it could be more amusing or fun in the way that it's generated itself. But I think that the hand drawn would probably be the better go-to. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the route that Limbus took, and I think that all of his pieces were really cool. So
Awesome. Let's go to. Sorry, did you have more? I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going.
All good. Drive safe. Let's go Wax Wolves, Quacks, Black Fang, and then Drawn Company in that order. 100% hand drawn or generative? What do you like?
Okay. So the question I read was the difference. I've heard two questions. I've heard what should we like more and why did we choose? So why we chose to use the tool is kind of interesting. Carly was doing some 101s drawings before, like a couple months ago. They didn't take off too well. Some people thought they were cool. But Carly was definitely wanting to get back into drawing. And then we caught wind of the PFP tool that's actually been out longer than we even realized. So then she started working on that, drawing out the base, drawing everything, drawing all the traits, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's where it gets fun, is because it's a new tool. And any tool out there, like, I'm trying to learn the tech behind it. I'm trying to learn anything I can to be a part of it. So yeah, that's why we chose to use it. Now, also, drawing 11,000 PFPs would have taken quite some time as well. But next year, there may be some hand drawings. I don't know. But 11,000, yeah, that's a lot of mints to be hand drawn. So, but yeah, the PFP tool is amazing on NFT Hive. Nothing but positive things to say about it. This has been such an amazing experience. We've been here for so long, and this project that we have done, totally different than anything else we've ever done. And it's just been such an exciting thing, and we're happy to be sharing it with all of you.
Well said. Well said. Thank you. Next.
All right. Hand drawn or generative. With the amount of NFTs we're pumping out for Ducking Fuzz, I mean they're all hand drawn assets, but we had to go generative to get the 3,333. But it's kind of a hard decision to make because a project like Senor Lupe's Chummies, I love the Chummies. They're all hand drawn. So I really can't give you an exact answer, but for My project, I had to go generative just because it's bigger than 100 pieces, 100 pieces per season or whatever, just for that fact. But I still love both.
Yeah, I think you could have different depending on the circumstances. You could certainly see where one is strong compared to the other. Thanks, Quacks. Black Fang and then Drawn, and then Stingers.
So Ludi actually uses a hybrid, and I want to rephrase that. All traits are hand drawn, but the difference is computer generated or manually made. So I used the chain champs for computer generated PFP, the first 550, and then I did the last 5 mints on the same template. I broke manually each immutable attribute, and I've put my own fully manually made PFPs. And those 5 are called special edition because they have the most one-of-one traits. I've discovered like this hybrid use case of PFPs with Hellcats when they launch on Luna. Like I've learned a lot of stuff from that project, and that's what I wanted to bring, like some freshness to it, because I also am a huge fan of Lupe. He knows that I love him a lot, and I felt I needed like to have like a mix of it. And I also like that on Chain Champs, I was able to mint the same NFTs on testnet and then on mainnet. Because with NFT Hive, I love it. I think it's like really novel, the fact that you can generate as you go and you don't know what's going to happen and which one is ranked number 1. But for me, it was actually really helpful that I was able to know what are my PFPs because I wanted to pre-mint them in a pack. So the way it went was like really, really smooth. Obviously, I've spent like 2 or 3 weeks just doing testnet, cracking packs with my artist friends like Ultra Rare, Tommy Kings, Token Girls, Magenta. Like I've involved a lot of creators in my creative process in making Ludi. So I'm really happy I was able to pull this off and have like the special editions actually are part of we got like a Ludi leaderboard, and the top 5 have the most points. So on that leaderboard, each PFP has a score. Obviously, the scarcest it is, the more one-of-one traits it has the more points. And you would have like a battle of wallets of some people might overtake just by holding multiple generative type of PFPs over somebody that holds like the Holy Grail, the special edition one. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Sorry. I thought
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hybrid
Go
would
ahead.
be hybrid is a really interesting model if you can pull that off. And I didn't know that you had actually utilized Chain Champs for that. So that's news to me. I didn't know that they offered that. Very cool. I think we haven't heard from Stingers and Drawn, right? So Drawn, then Stingers. And then we'll transition to a short AMA session, and then we'll get the heck on out of here.
Yeah, so I'm a square peg in a round hole, aren't I? Because I'm doing the action figures. So I wouldn't be using the technology and it be under the PFP brand if it wasn't for the technology being available to me. I think for me, as a collector, I love the fact that these things are minted there and then. Obviously, again, what Black Fang said, you can't beat around the bush. Everything's got to be drawn. It's just loaded into a system and created by the Matrix. But that for me is the attractive part, and that's what I think people like. But at the same time, there's no right or wrong answer, is there? Hand-drawn PFPs are just as cool as the generative ones. It's down to the artist and the collection, and I loved hearing that story from Black Fang about the fact that he's using sort of like both aspects there to do some generative, but also create a suite of base assets. So yeah, no right or wrong answer for me. But we wouldn't be in this space if it wasn't for the technology.
Thanks, Drawn. Stingers, any last thoughts on generative versus the generative random hand-drawn attributes versus 100% hand-drawn PFPs?
Well, I've done both. So the way Wax used to do it, we had to do everything manually, and by the way, everything's hand drawn. If you're not using an AI tool, everything is hand drawn. It's just you're using a computer to calculate outcomes. That's the only difference. But um, back in the day, it took me a month to do cryptos, and that had AR involved as well, and it was a nightmare. And then I want to give a shout out to Wampa Stampa. I want to give a shout out to Lupe, to the OGs that all had to struggle and sweat to just make 100 of these things back in the day. And to see a tool like Chain Chaps too, and I want to give a shout out to RAR because RAR helped me build the Monster Mutant Maker one that we built a year ago when we did the Satoshis and the JRGs, the Favela Boys, Duck Blobs. It was still like in the process, and it's just cool to see that at this point, every week we're seeing new generative projects. And I mean, to me, I don't know. It's subjective, guys. I love one-on-one art, and I love hand-drawn, individualized PFPs like the chummies. I'll always treasure my chummies. But at the same time, I think the generative stuff that comes out is super cool looking too. And it's as long as it's kind of created by an actual artist, I'm pretty much cool with it. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah, that might have been a poorly posed question. The generative is not AI generative. I meant like randomly made. Like everyone has corrected me. Thank you for correcting that and being specific. All of the PFPs are hand drawn, or all the attributes are hand drawn. This was just simply comparing, do you want to put it all together yourself and draw each one individually? Kind of like I've seen with Chair's project, I think was the one we had a few months ago. We had a message from them, and then do you want to use it like with NFT High's tools? Because that was kind of a new hot tool. Thank you for everyone and your answers. This is the end of the topics that we have. I want to thank all the guests and everyone listening for your patience while we went through this. At this time, we'll open up for questions for our listeners below. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll do our best to bring you up to ask questions for these creators. I want to thank all of our listeners for your patience and courtesy when you come up on stage to our creators today. Tara Mike, I know you were first, so let me bring you up first. Okay. BMAC, if you still had a comment or question, please go ahead and raise up so we can bring you up. And when you're ready to go, Tara Mike, go ahead.
Right on. What's up, everyone? I just I wanted to say that there's an old ancient proverb that says, if you want something done efficiently, get a lazy man to do it. And I am that lazy person, and I want to give and do things and make stuff for the community. And Wax allows us to kind of do that in a very lazy way with smart contracts. And I just wanted to kind of bring to light the PFP machine is really awesome to create and generate art, but it's also really awesome in its attributes that you can use those attributes for so many more things and sharing and building that isn't art related. You can put blank layers into it that will give an attribute that doesn't show art. And then on the back end, your smart contracts can look for those particular attributes that are sort of hidden and baked in there. And you can do all sorts of really cool stuff by randomly generating a lot of things through that PFP tool on NFT Hive. And I just kind of wanted to bring that to light to some new creators, maybe in the audience or looking to do their own project. You can kind of add another layer of fun into it that doesn't have to be promised up front. Everything's building and growing, but you put it there so that you have that future room to grow. And I think it's really amazing for future growth. And I wanted to bring that up, that is a thing that can be done.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. You obviously have some pretty good insights as well. It's a pleasure to have you here. You're always the first one in my spaces too. So I always love your support, sir. Don't be mad when I knock you down because we got a couple of people who want to come up and we have some limited space. So thank you very much for joining us today. BMAC, you had a question for our guest today? BMAC, did BMAC drop out? you get rugged? Okay. Let's go with T-Break was the next person I saw. Let me invite T-Break up, and then NFT Jedi after T-Break. T-Break, go ahead once you're up.
Hey, what's happening, Tommy? Thanks for having me here. I had back to the question that you posed to all the creators about like how to bring value to a PFP collection. I spent a lot of time researching that, and what I found is like the best way to look at it is that NFT is like a Minecraft chest, you know, and everything that you can put, like the more things you can put into that chest, the more value there is, right? So the art, that's a thing in that chest, right? The attributes on the NFT, that's a thing in that chest, like the mints number, like potential airdrops, right? Access to a Discord, access to a community, right? And it's like the more things you can put into that chest and the more easily you can communicate those things, that's like the best way to like look for, or like that's the best place to look, to start looking to like to start adding value, right? And the question that I had for all the creators is, I've asked this to like a lot of marketing agencies, and I love getting everyone's feedback on this. What sort of value do you think projects like D-Gods by Frank and like Bored Ape Yacht Club and Zuki and all these big, real expensive NFTs on ETH and whatnot, what sort of value do you think they bring to their holders? You know, thank you for having me.
Thanks, T-Break. Fang, you've got your hand up. Go ahead.
Honestly, nobody knows, but Frank from D-Gods is an absolute legend. The fact that he's 24 years old and he can pull up a lot of bunnies out of his wizard hat is absolutely insane. The fact that they butchered their season-free release on D-Gods and then pulled it back, pivoted, and then came back successful is just crazy. And I think it's really hard for a Wax community to even answer about ETH projects. But those PFPs are luxury PFPs. Those PFPs cost 40 grand for a regular D-God, and ordinals D-Gods cost 1 Bitcoin. I think that was the floor last time I checked. Like that's literally for celebrities, for really important people, and I think he pulled it off by bringing on celebrities, creating like massive hype and engagement, and we don't really know if that was done organically. Obviously, they got to know the right people to actually pull this off, but I think honestly it's just one thing: exclusivity. Like they gain a lot access to a lot of things. Like now you can win a Tesla by getting the points on their app. Like that's insane. You know, like that generates hype and buzz, and stuff like the fact that Utes gave back $3 million to Polygon because they're now moving to Ethereum. So that was like they jumped from Solana to Polygon, got a grant of $3 million that they didn't use, and a couple of months later they moved to Ethereum. I don't know why they did it like the way they did it, but Frank obviously, like, I don't know if he knows what he's doing, but he's doing like a terrific job. The way he plays it out, like I'm every time speechless. The man talks about it. But one thing I know for certain is that Frank from D-Gods is actually community driven. They did in New York City an exclusive party, and the venue was overbooked. And he had D-Gods members that stayed outside of the club, and he literally came out of the party and stayed with the people that were outside. So props to the guy. I actually think he's quite humble, even though he's probably filthy rich. But but that's like the elite, you know, like I don't know if we'll ever have something like that on Wax. I hope we do, but yeah, I'll pass the mic.
Oh,
Anyone else
we
have any comments?
definitely need a community party. Yeah, we
love to
definitely
have an
need those
in-person
party
event.
and all that.
Yeah, an in-person event would definitely be fun. I know it was fun when I was able to go to GDC some years ago. Absolutely. Thank you, T-Break, for your insight and your question. Thanks, Black Fang. The next, BMAC, you're able to make it back up to the stage.
Yes, yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. First of all, I'd like to thank all the creators that came on and have given us all their insights on how they run their collections, and it's wonderful to hear something that I've been preaching for quite a long time, as far as under promise, over deliver, because you can't go wrong. If you do that, the community is going to be there because you're constantly giving them stuff that they weren't expecting, and it wasn't something they invested in, but you're giving it to them anyway. So it's always a bonus. Big shout out to Black Fang. I have watched this man work for the last 2.5 years that I've been on Wax, and I've been lucky enough that I've seen about 90% of his works in progress. When it was just a sketch, he's shown me this stuff, and we've worked together on stuff, and he is one of the hardest working guys I've seen, not just on Wax but in general. He really has a passion for this, and it's something that hasn't changed. And his entire model of giving his NFTs away for free just shows, if you look at the value of those Ludies on the market right now, you can't touch that. No, not with any other free NFT. So he pays back his community every single time he can. He's always been there for them, and he always takes everyone's ideas into account and wants to hear, what they're thinking, what's going on, how should we do this, and it's all about 100% community with him. I've been on Wax for, like I said, 2.5 years now, and I started it as an art project because I was unable to get the Topps Marble app to take my art into their like guest artist program. They decided not to let people do any fan art because of some kind of licensing. And then Burst from a Comic Kings told me about Wax, and I've been here ever since. And just for all the artists out there that are, grinding and not seeing a lot of profits from it, artists never do. You work at it, you put your love, blood, sweat, and tears into it, and maybe 100 years after you're dead, people are going to say how great you were. But unless lightning strikes, you've got to do it because you love it. Don't do it because you're trying to make money. Don't do it to show somebody else. It needs to be something that you are 100% in love with, and that will come through in your art. That's all I got.
BMAC, thank you so much for coming up and sharing those kind words and your insights as well. We're going to go to NFT Jedi, and then we are going to go to GRG, and then we will have to shut it down for time. We are just past our time. So NFT Jedi, you've got the mic.
Hey, thanks a lot. Can you hear me?
Yep, sound good.
Okay, great. Thanks. So I really respect how much everyone here kind of owns the accountability for their own collection. But I think also as collectors, we have a role to play in these projects as well. If you really believe in a project and the art and the team, then I think it's important to understand like your role as a community member. And like if you look at some of the more successful projects across like any blockchain, I think that you'll notice that the communities of the best projects don't just sit back and wait to be spoon-fed that value day in and day out, because it is a lot of work and unforeseen things happen. And I think community members can do things like in the Discord, making it feel like kind of like a home away from home, running contests, races, movies, trivia. There's so many examples. You've got community members of different projects creating merch or stickers, setting up clubs, and I mean, so like if, we've got folks joining the Discord once a day and just asking, when this, when that, when value, you're not really adding to the community. And so I just think that that's, a good project also helps to enable their community to drive its own value. And so that kind of leads to, that's more of a comment. My question was really, what things do, and this is for anybody, what kind of things do you do to enable your collectors to help drive the community forward on their own merits?
I'll jump in. Things that we like to do is, well, I kind of talked about it earlier. I don't know if you're in here. It was a value question, like how do you provide value? I think something important is to give your collectors a place to interact, whether it be something simple like a Discord or a full-blown website with like a forum and stuff like we chose to do. I think it's important to give your collectors a place to speak. That's why we run Twitter Spaces, for example. That way, everyone can get on there and talk. Yeah, it's important to let the collectors get in there and get their say, for sure.
Well put, Derek. I think one of the other things that might answer this question was kind of brought up earlier, I know, by Fang, and I saw it on Wark, was you have those layers you can, or the bot that creates your PFP and puts like a good morning mug, and then you can share that, or you could do different types of little things like that, or add those bots that help kind of make your PFP, add a little something to your PFPs. And then make it a little bit different, or make one your PFP, it's you, but it's got a good morning, and use that one in the morning, or you do something at night with like a sleeping mask or something. I don't know. That's just kind of the stuff that I've seen as well.
Cool answers. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jedi. All right, let's go to JRG Rapper. Welcome. And
Yo, what's up, fam? Yeah. Are you guys listening to me?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can hear you. Sorry, I mute myself, and it took me a second to find the button.
Okay, no problem. I just want to thanks everyone for having me here. I and Morbs and a lot of other guys like Nazi, we created PFP projects when there was not such a great tool like NFT Hive. So I created Favela Boys, and I gave a cut for charity here in Brazil. I posted about it and all that stuff, and that is good. And I'm here just to say thank you for everyone, and to ask for everyone, as it was told here already, we need to do our own research about anything, about any project. But one thing that I would like to point, we need to be, even with even when we find some, or we get suspicious of something's going wrong with a collection or a creator, we need to try to point exactly what we want to say. Just don't be peaceful or with mean words. I just think we need to be kind and polite, and try to point our ideas and our criticism, but in a smart, or in a polite, or in something, in a polite way to point when something is wrong, because we don't know what the other person on the other side are passing through. I take myself for example. I get a bad moment here in my personal real life, and I stay away from everything, my music, my NFTs, and my creations and everything. But I didn't quit. I just stopped for I mean, like 2, 3, 4 months, something like that. When I came back, everything was changed. There was a new cloud wallet. There's almost no more Atomic Hub and Team that I used to see every day. And a lot of things change so fast in Web3. So sometimes people can't keep it up, and we need to try to understand before say, oh, this is good, this is bad. I personally, I'm a collector too, but I just collect the same thing that I make for comic books or Hot Wheels. I mean, real life Hot Wheels and Sonic, like Sonic from Sega, Sonic stuff. I'm a big fan. So I don't buy all that things because I think it's gonna be in 10 years. Oh, will be so rare or so valuable. I buy the things because I just like that. I'm passionate about all those things, and when I buy it, I don't think that tomorrow Sega can announce some bankruptcy or something like that. I just buy it because I love it. And same thing is with NFTs. If I say a drawing or a PFP or a card or any virtual good that I think, wow, this is cool, like a skateboard, a music or anything, I just buy because I like it, not because I'm thinking about make some big profit in the near or far future. So people sometimes think that, oh, people are trying to scam me. No, we are all, at least me and the people which I look for relate. um, we are trying to make the best for the collectors and for ourselves as creators too, because we want to see our art, our ideas, our projects go on, and everybody wins and get fun. That's what I would like to talk, what I would like to say, and I wanna thank for all the love that Wax environment every time show for me, all support, and I hope I can give it back in music and in PFPs and in form of any kind of art that I can create. All right, that's it. I think that's pretty much it that I would like to talk.
TRG, I think you're making such a great point, and it's a great one to kind of wrap up the space on. Be kind to others, be courteous to others. You don't know what kind of day someone's having. I think your post last week was, be kind with your words. You mentioned when we're giving criticism, we can provide constructive criticism rather than just
Yeah.
saying this art is shit. You know what I mean? And that's like hard to hear. I'm not an artist, but someone once when I was a little kid told me my art was shit and I've never tried to do art again. And it's been almost 30 years. So
Wow.
it'll screw
Yeah.
you up. It can definitely affect you.
Yeah,
So
this is
thank you
hard.
so
This
much.
is hard. This is very hard. Even more when it came from people that you already helped. That happened to me last week on my Instagram here, my Brazilian account of Instagram. I have some argue with a guy who claimed to be a fan of mine, but he's more like a hater. And he just a few days back, I was just posting that oh man, I'm something like, oh man, I'm in the music industry for almost 10 years. I need to make something for my music be heard for more people. And I was just taking some of my chest on internet. And this guy came to me and say, "Oh, stop whining on internet because you are not famous, bro." And man, I was not. I thought that I was talking with people that like me, but no, I was not talking only for people that like me, and that made me think, man, we need to be kind. We don't know the other side, the other perspective when someone is doing something, So this is why I posted that. I see sometimes um, a few projects or a few collectors like debating on with very hot conversations on Twitter. Oh, you do this, you do that, you copy this, you copy that. Oh, you're not real, you're not legit, you are a scam, you're not. And I think, hey man, hey guys, please, let's try to take a conversation, know what happened, and if it's something wrong here, let's clarify so no one gets scammed, and the person always have a chance to try again and be better on next time, and don't don't damage anyone on the process. So this is what I believe. This is what I try to, to transmit with everything that I do, including my music, my NFTs, my everything. So that's it.
Thanks, TRG.
No love.
Definitely setting the tone for the show. Let me go ahead and wrap it up. So this has been, I think, the longest Twitter space I've hosted yet. This was so informative with so many great speakers. Thank you so much, Drawn, Waxalotls, Black Fang, Quacks, Wolves, Stingers, for coming up and sharing with us today. Make sure I got all you. This is we could probably keep talking about this, but I do need to stop it here before I get in trouble because I'm late for a meeting. So let me shut it down. For everyone listening below, please follow our speakers right here on Twitter for more information about their each individual projects, or to start learning about their PFPs and collections and what they offer in value to the community and their fans of their collections. Finally, let me extend a big thank you to Cristala. She's been representing Wax for almost as long as I can remember, and I am so happy to finally bring you on stage as a co-host rather than just a guest. Thank you, Cristala. Do you have any last comments? Where can listeners see your content and follow you?
Thank you. Yeah, it really, thank you for having me here. I'm so happy. It's been really, really awesome. Such a good information, such a good people here, new, old people in the community, everything. I really, 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 really love what's, and yeah, thank you everyone here. And if guys, if you don't know me, you can follow me on Twitter. And if you have some project on everything, I can help you to spread the word about your project. Let me know, let's talk, and I can create some contests for you to help you. And I'm always available here and always available on Discord. So thank you guys for having me here. And thank you, Tommy. I hope to see you guys again. And this has been really, really, really fun. So I think it's time to go.
Yeah, thank you, Cristala. Thanks for helping me organize my thoughts. Thanks again to everyone who came in and listened below, even if you're listening now or listening later. Our guests, it's so much love right now I have for everybody here. All right, Waxites, that's our show for the week. I'll have the day off next Wednesday, so we'll be back with another space expected on the 30th, close out the month. Remember, trust but verify, do your own research, look both ways before crossing the street, and never trust anyone who needs a haircut. I will see you next time. Take it easy. Be well.